Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Describe Gaming. So really cool stuff. Just put the chat box over here. They just released Rogue. Fantasy Flight has unleashed Rogue Bulletproof Bella. That's what we're looking at. So I did take a little quick look at her kit, sort of, that's revealed. Very thematic and very cool. We have not seen a hero like Rogue. I mean, you could say like Absorbing Man was like uh, the villain hero of Rogue, kind of like he was doing a mechanic where things would change based on if you got metal, if you got wood, and then he would get traded with different things. So she's doing something similar to that. Uh, but let's just talk real quick about the general thing with her. She's 11 hit points, which is fairly nice. 9 is the lowest so far in the game. She has a setup which is her main gimmick is the touch, which is this card here. So how this mechanic works is you're basically given in hero side. Wait, one sec. Where is the hero? Oh, row 2. Hold on. Okay. So in hero side, you can take this upgrade that kind of goes in play and out of play. A one-time action. So attach touch. So it's called skin contact to another character. So you can literally touch anybody in the game, unless there's like maybe a villain or minion that comes out where it says you cannot interact period with this card. We'll see, but pretty much, yeah, any thing in the game, and you gain the character's traits. Now that is like, see how she has X-Men? That's called a trait. It's not like quick strike. Those are, I believe those are different. They're not traits are like Guardian or X-Men or Mutant, those sort of traits. But anyways, it could be cool because there's some villains, some bosses in the game. I'm just going to fix this a second, guys. There's some scenarios in the game that, so let's make my, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Yeah, so for instance, there's modulars where give every brute a tough, right? I think which modular set is that? But anyways, if she touches a brute minion, she gets the brute traded uh, keyword. So if that sort of treachery comes up, give each traded brute character a tough, then she gets a tough. So what I'm trying to say is that as this game evolves more and more, this could be really interesting. Like she might want to get a certain trait, and that could give her a big, huge bonus. So really cool. But where it really shines is with touched. So you're going to touch somebody, get their trait, and then you, if it's a minion, you gain overkill, which is awesome. Like that is, I mean, there's, she basically is overkilling on demand against any minion that comes out because she gets that free action to touch it. So I think she's the first character in the game that just has overkill on her kit, like the whole game basically, which is really cool, powerful. Villain, if you touch the villain, you're going to gain Retaliate 1, which is really cool. Now you might be thinking, just looking at this, oh, it looks kind of bland. Trust me, it gets cooler with her events. Her events tie into the touch, which again, the developers are getting really good at just being very creative with how things interact. Ally, if you touch to an ally, she gains aerial, which again is going to tie into her events. Because aerial is a lot more relevant in the game's life now. Before, when they were just releasing it was like there was a few cards that interacted with it. And then hero, rogue gains stalwart. Now, I do not think you can attach it to rogue herself because the action here says attach touch to another character. You gain another character. So speaking, it's not rogue. From what I'm reading, that's I take it as you cannot touch yourself. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Anyways, let's keep going. So this is amazing. I mean, this is extremely cool. Like the fact, like you can kind of tailor what you want to do with Rogue. She kind of, it's kind of like Storm a bit. Not in the Storm is totally different, but the fact that she can kind of pick and choose how she want to tactically play, kind of like Storm. Storm's similar. You can kind of control the weathers and effects, but this is like in a different way that's specifically changing Rogue to play a certain way. But yeah, multiplayer, the hero attach it to another hero, gains stalwart. That's pretty cool. And I guess you can't really do it in solo play, unless people in chat or in the comments think that you could touch yourself. I guess you do Michael Jackson. All right. And then if we read more in this, you gain each character's traits. We got that until the end of the round. And it's only a once per round. So not per phase, per round. And it's action anyways. Force response. After the player phase begins, find touch and set it aside. So say you touch the villain and you're still in hero. You go into villain phase and then new player phase. That touch, unlike Valkyrie, where when you put your death glow on something, it's there until you kill that thing or you flip to alter. Not the case with Rogue. You are gonna touch somebody, and if you get into another player phase, the touch goes out of play. But then you can do your action ability and touch whatever. So Adam in chat wrote, "Hey, or sorry, her kit looks pretty cool. I just went through it." Yeah, I went through it really quick, and then I figure I beat Nelson because Nelson's like on speed when it comes to doing these preview things. So I figure I like to beat him. Of course, this is not professionally edited. I'm just winging it. It's like a dirty, quick preview. Basically, it's my first first thoughts and glances of this. You're getting my real, raw, unedited version. But in a nutshell, I think they hit a home run with Rogue. Similar to Storm, very thematic, very fun. That's the feeling I'm getting with Rogue so far. Different than Storm, like we're not even close. But the funness and the thematic part, it's like Storm. So let's go a little bit further. So as I talked about, touch is the main mechanic, and it interacts with her hero side. I didn't really touch about her alter side through recovery, and obviously you're gonna. I always, when I think of these setups, I always think about Wolverine's claws. It gets me every time. But anyways, luckily they didn't screw up on this setup. They just say set your touch upgrade aside. So that's good. That gets done before you even shuffle your cards. I don't know why they didn't just kind of do that with Wolverine's claws, but whatever. Then it has a withdrawn. So when you flip to alter, your touch is going to come off. So that's pretty straightforward. And let's go over some of these like events. So these are cool. So go in Rogue. Question: Adam says, when you change Storm's weather deck, is it considered changing forms? No. No, it is not, Adam. It's specifically called a weather support deck or something like that. So it's not changing forms at all. It's changing that template of called weather support control deck, yes, but not your form. But good question. So hero action, this is superpower thwart. So I guess def focus is going to be automatic include rogue. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. If rogue has aerial, remove 2 additional threat. Gets better. Retaliate, you confuse the enemy, and stalwart, draw 1 card. So let me refresh, okay? So it goes back to touch. So say we have it on the villain, you have retaliate, then you play going rogue, then it says you confuse an enemy. So you can confuse the villain. So you have touch on your hero, your teammate's hero, you gain stalwart, and you draw 1 card. And then finally, if you have it on an ally, you have the aerial trait, you remove 2 additional threats. So you can see how the game is forcing you to kind of try to set these things up, which makes the game or her deck kind of fun, you know, it's like a puzzle. So going to the next one here. So Southern Cross. It's a hero action attack, and it's a superpower. Def focus. Deal 6 damage to an enemy if rogue has aerial. This attack deals 2 additional damage, so it turns into 8. Retaliate. So, but she has overkill, correct? So if you put on a minion, you're not getting that additional 2 damage. So I can see how they're trying to balance it out just a little bit. Unless the only way she can get aerial, I believe, unless there's a card they haven't revealed to us, you have to attach a minion to get aerial, I believe. Or no, not minion, an ally, sorry. And then, so retaliate with the thwarting one gave confused to enemy. Now this is a stun to enemy, so that's really cool. Stalwart, again, you're going to draw 1 card. Victor Von Doom says, love what I'm seeing so far. Hardest part is going to be waiting for release. Yes, I agree. And if you're like me, every time UPS gets a package from Asmodee or Fantasy Flight, it gets lost or sent to some other person's house, which is the second time for me. My Wolverine, Mojo Mania, they've been lost. I had to file a claim, and Fantasy Flight is making me wait, I think, 2 weeks for them to figure out what they're gonna do. So a little upset about that. I'm just calling what it is. I'm just saying the customer service basically told me I have to wait like a certain amount of days before they do anything. So I'm a content creator and I can't bring out the content. It would be nice if they would just be like, oh, we'll send you, another one to you. But no, they didn't do that. That's fine. A little salty. Okay, let's continue here. I just really want to play Mojo Mania. I want to make content. All the content creators are making content. So I'm just kind of airing out some vengeance. What else do we got here? We've got, let's keep going. So these are her thwart event and attack event, both superpowers. Bulletproof, another superpower. Adam says, I just got Mojo Mania last night. I'm sleeving it up tonight and trying it out. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, I've seen a few people play Magog, and I don't think I've seen anyone lose that scenario. So maybe I'm gonna wait to play it. I'm not gonna give my feedback on it. I rather play. I don't want. I've seen people play it, but I haven't played it. So I'm gonna wait till I play it to give my kind of feedback on it. I don't want to jump the gun here. But from what I saw, it does look interesting. Like again, they're really mechanically trying to make the game interesting with the counters and all that. So we'll see. This one's really interesting. Bulletproof. So this is like her defense hero kit card. When an enemy with touch attached to, sorry, when an enemy with touch, so attached to the villain, villain's attacking you, prevent all damage from that attack and gain a tough status card. Phenomenal. Very nice. That is a money card right there. But again, it's gonna make you think like, okay, you're starting your player phase, your touch comes out of play. Now you have you're gonna touch somebody. Now you can only touch once. No, I think there's an event coming up that allows you to reposition your touch to another creature or entity. So I kind of like Storm's weather goddess ability where she can change the weather again within a turn. So I think Rogue has something like that coming up. But basically what I'm trying to say is if you don't have that card, you have to be kind of strategic, like who should I touch this round? Gosh, why am I always thinking Michael Jackson every time I say touch? So yeah, so again, that to me, that's what I like about the game. I want the game to make the player have to think about things like this, right? And that's where I kind of bashed on Hulk's design, where there's none of that thinking. Like 4 cards, Hulk, high HP, good attack. That's it, you know? There's nothing there making you think what to do with Hulk, really. And these type of heroes like Drax, Colossus, Shadowcat, like there's the heroes that they're producing now are thematic and fun. And I think that is the key formula. And I'm so glad that they stopped producing heroes like Hulk. And I know some people hate Valkyrie, but she does have some good mechanics there. The mechanics for Valkyrie are wonky. I agree with you that like your death glow is stuck and you can't take the death glow off. They should have had a card like Shield Maiden should have put death glow on whatever's attacking you and stuff like that. Like I feel like they dropped the ball on Valkyrie, unfortunately, but I still like Valkyrie as a hero. I'm using Hulk as an example of bad design. And I don't know who designed Hulk. I think it was Caleb, but I think Caleb has gotten much better through the heroes that he's done. So anyways, there's Bulletproof Bella. Let's go forward here. Now, this seemed to get a lot of people excited in Discord. I know this was dropped a few times in the feed. Superpower Adaptation. This looks off the hook. So, if touch is attached to a friendly character, search the owner's discard pile for an event that belongs to the same classification. All right, in layman terms, if I put this on, she has a signature ally called Gambit. If I put that on Gambit, like if I have touched on Gambit and I play this, I can then go into my my deck, my discard. Oh no, sorry, I can go into my discard, not deck, sorry. I can go into the discard, my discard, and I can pick identity specific. Well, I have to pick identity specific because Gambit is her signature ally, which is identity. So you're limited to just that. But if say I go over to my teammate, the hero, the player 2's hero, I'm trying to figure out the words what to say, and I touch them, and then I play this on them. Because it's their identity, I could then get say like their identity specific event. So say who has a really good one? Let's think. Okay, let's just use Wasp for instance. Say I touch Wasp, then I play Superpower Adaptation. I could then get, say she has in the Discord, say she has what's that one called that does 8 damage with overkill? Oh gosh, why would I pick Wasp and I forget the card? It'll come to me. It's an overkill card that does 8 damage. It's not Sting. God, okay, let's just say, oh, fine. let's say we touch Hulk and we get Hulk smash. So then Rogue could do a Hulk smash basically. So that's just, I mean, that is so thematic. Like if you read the comics or watch the cartoon, you know Rogue likes to touch people, get their powers, and this is like in the essence, it really brings out that theme. We got some chatter here. Oh, that makes sense. Was a little confused on this card. So if you attach to a basic ally, you search for a basic event. Correct, Victor. That is 100%. Leadership ally, leadership. Yes. So basically, guys, it goes. What it really is referring to, whatever you touch, if it's basic, um, but it can't be like from the enemy. It's not the villain, not a minion, because they have nothing to do with like basic aspect, the different aspects, and your identity cards. So it just has to be like in the players areas that you touch, and then it reflects on what they are. So I wonder if you touch Spider Woman's wait, no, no, Spider Woman doesn't have any multi allies. Yeah, forget that. Just I was going through my brain here. So very good card. I think this is her like ultimate money card. Well, money card to do amazing things, right? Like I said, you could touch Hulk, get his Hulk smash. Now you're doing 10 damage when you exhaust to do an attack. So her attack I think is 2. So you're doing 12 damage right there. So that's pretty amazing. Although, how is that going to work with? There might be some player-specific cards that don't really work too well because it has like sometimes there's events in other players' toolkits that interact with um, their identity actions on their card or their upgrades in place. So I guess it's going to be situational with this card, but in reality, it's awesome. I think it's cool. I like when Fantasy Flight wants to do something kind of out of the box here. So we got Brant from the Portal joining us. This is very touching video desk cry. Yes, a lot of touching here. And I know some people like Michael Jackson. I apologize. I'm not trying to say he touches kids and stuff, but yeah. Where there's smoke, there's fire. No, he was okay. Let's change the topic. I'm gonna get a bunch of hate mail from Michael Jackson fans. Okay, energy transfer. So this is the card that I was saying that it's like the goddess from Storm, the goddess change event that allows her to change a second time for her support weather. So this reads, it's a superpower. Remember, guys, run the Def Focus with Rogue. Attach touch to a character other than Rogue and deal 2 damage to that character. Heal 2 damage from Rogue and ready her. You gain each of attached characters' traits until the end of the round. So there's a lot of text there. But basically, you can have touch on, say you touch, okay, let me break it down for people to understand. Oh, hey, it's Steve from Play the Game. Oh my gosh, I got all the celebrities on my channel right now. I'm very excited. So I'll give you an example how this could work. Player phase begins, touch comes out. You're gonna touch the villain. And then you're gonna play Southern Cross. You're gonna deal 6 damage and then you stun the villain. Then you're gonna later play there's you're gonna play energy transfer. Now you can attach touch, which is on the villain. You can attach that to another person. So say you attach it to a minion, and then you're gonna deal 2 damage to that character. And you heal 2 damage from Rogue and ready her. So that's bonkers right there. That's a lot of. So you could get in a situation where you have no minion, you attach it to the villain, and the only other person you could attach it to is maybe your teammate. So you're gonna be like, well, I want to get the ready and I want to heal. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to attach this to you. You're gonna take 2 damage. That's kind of hilarious. And then, but then you get a ready, and then you get his traits at the end of the round. Another cool thing is, check this out. You could play this first at the starting of your play phase. It says that you get the traits to the end of the round. Then use your normal action to. Josh is here. Use your normal action from your hero side to then attach it to something, and then you get 2 traded things for the end of the round. Oh, so I gotta take a quick. We're gonna take a quick. I gotta do a diaper change. So we're gonna be right back. Keep that chatter going. I'm gonna put a poll up for you guys, and it's gonna say, "Are you hyped for Rogue? Yes or no?" All right, guys, and I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Hi.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Let's read the chat real quick. I had to step out, had to do a diaper change. Looks like we've got a few votes here. Let's end the poll. 86% say yes. Are you hyped for Rogue? That was 7 votes. So one person not so hyped. Then we got Descry draws his obligation, diaper change. Yeah, that's funny. That was a good one. Yeah. Oh man, that got me. Surprise they went with Rogue and not Daredevil here. Well, only person that Maurice and I think Spartan are the ones that are like in love with Daredevil. Yeah, Daredevil's cool. But guys, think about it. There's a lot of heroes and characters in the Marvel universe. So yes, there I'm sure there's a lot of Daredevil fans out there, but at least he's an ally. So let's keep going here. Where was I? I think we were getting to let's see, we talked about that one. That one. All right, so energy transfer is kind of like similar to, but different. The goddess change with Storm. It allows you to move around touch, and it heals you, readies you, gives you trait. So I like this card. And you heard me at the beginning of the stream talk about how I feel like they messed up on Valkyrie. They had a cool mechanic with Valkyrie. I like what they were thinking to do with Valkyrie, but it was very clunky, and I feel like it wasn't fun. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I think most people agree with me that Valkyrie can get into weird situations where you're not having a fun time with her because the interactions with her Deathglow and this card, and it's frustrating, right? So and it's not an easy puzzle. It's like you just can't do anything in certain situations with Valkyrie. So energy transfer, I like. It has multiple things it's doing. It can heal. It can ready you. It can give you another trait for the round. It can move the touch around. So very good job, Caleb and Nate and everyone at Fantasy Flight. I'm glad you put that card in. You have Descry's approval. So we got the signature ally, Gambit. Now, I will say he is up there for doing a lot of damage for an ally for a 3-coster. So think about this, right? So every time he attacks, he's going to activate a charge counter. So that can then become like a 3 attack. But you can deal 1 damage to an 8. You can fling that like card, that damage. Say you attack this enemy. There's another enemy over here with tough. We'll fling that ping damage, take tough off. So very versatile. Could do a lot of cool things. And he's hitting for 3. Like he could hit the villain times 3, 9 damage. So Mr. Boone. So if you get energy transfer on Spider-Ham, he gets a tune counter. Yeah, good one, man. Yeah, thanks for dropping that in the chat. 100%. So yeah, yeah, so you play energy transfer on Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham's like, all right, thanks. I took 2 damage, but I get a tune counter. And you get to heal, you get to ready. So everyone's having a fun time. I'm just okay. So I want to clarify some rule stuff with you guys. Okay, take and deal damage they've been ruled on by Fantasy Flight. Now this could change in the future, but as right now, they have came out and have told us that take and damage are slightly different. Okay, deal damage means you can That can affect things with tough. It can affect cards that um, prevent damage, and it still meets the requirements of what it's saying deal. Okay, take is different. Take means you have to actually physically take 2 damage. Like it has to uh, lower your hit points. So what's cool about this? So deal 2 damage could work on someone with tough. Could work on, say, someone's got energy barriers up. Say they have 2 energy barriers up. Well, you could say, I'm going to touch you. You could fling those 2 damages at the villain with your energy barrier. So a lot of cool things you can do. But I know sometimes, I don't know if everybody knows the difference from take and deal. Like I said, they could change their ruling because I've seen them flip flop on their changes. Because a lot of times when they're making rule changes, they don't realize it affects a whole different part of the game in a weird way. But I think so far they haven't flip flopped on this rule change with take and deal. But just wanted to clarify that up. So let's keep going, guys, because we've got so I was talking about Gambit, very good ally, but the key thing I think you want Gambit out mainly to do superpower adaptation. If you're playing solo, your signature cards are always a lot more stronger. So this is a nice thing to play on Gambit. So and he's a good 3 costs. 2 Thort, that's nice. 2 Thort with this type of damage is great. Now we get Iceman. So he's from the protection ally and move over Widow's Bite. Basically, this is 3 counters that are just stunning minions coming in, which feels very thematic for Iceman. You know, he's gonna freeze them. Uh, so yeah, I like this ally. Very, very strong in certain scenarios, especially with scenarios with quick strike. Also, I don't know if Steve is still here, but Steve, you are wrong on the new rules, and it's in the official the facts for FFG, um, that the stuns or the like Widow's Bite and stuff, they're gonna proc before Quick Strike. It's already been officially in the fax answer. So yeah, so you're wrong on that because I know you pointed out to me it doesn't work like that, but it did work like that way back in the early days. The way that you thought it worked out. Anyways, going forward, this guy's money. I don't see the only way this card is not money is if you're playing a scenario with hardly any minions. But any scenario with quick strike minions, this is like an auto include, I think, if you're a protection player. Then you got judo, jud, what judoka skill. So this is interesting. This is when you defend against an enemy attack, remove 1 judo counter from here. The enemy gets -2 attack for that attack. Oh, it's Matt Jenkins. Love Iceman, great addition to the aspect. Yeah, I agree. Hope his hero has a similar ability. By the way, Jenkins, sorry. He's a really funny guy. He has his own channel. He does stand-up comedy. Uh, Definitely go check him out. He's really funny. He's actually, I think he's from Jersey, and I live in New York. And he likes Marvel Champions, so that's even cooler. Where the nerds get together and talk about cards. Okay, what do I think of this card? I think it's awesome. So to clarify, you have to take a counter before you reveal the boost. Okay, so when you defend, it's saying, okay, boost card's not revealed. Are you going to defend? Okay, defending. Interrupt happening right now. Are you going to -2 attack the villain, and then you're gonna, when you're ready to take the attack, you reveal the boost. So yeah, you can't be like, oh my gosh, a triple booster. I'm gonna use my skill. No, it doesn't work like that. But this is very good. Like I said, if you're going for a strategy that is situated where you're using your defense a lot, this is probably a good card to put in. Not today. Not today. When your hero defense against an attack, this at first I thought this was a reprint of the backflip one, the one where I don't know if it's called backflip, but it's like where if you take no dev, it's like avoid 2 damage, and if you take no damage, it's like remove 2 off the main or something like that. This is slightly different. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets, so you have to trigger, um you actually have to either exhaust to defend or play another defense card, then play this for this to even work. When your hero defends against attack, most likely you'll be hard exhausting to do a basic defense. It gets +2 defense for this attack if you take no damage from that attack or remove 2 threat from a scheme. Now, where this is different, guys, is that you, if there's a side scheme out there, you can actually target the side scheme with this. So protection players generally have poor side scheme removal, and this is something that could help you in that regard. So I could definitely see running this if your side scheme removal is fairly poor in your deck. This is a good card since you are defending if you're doing protection. Then you've got this one, Basic Ally Persona. So this is a support. Play only if your identity has the mutant trait. So you have to play it in alter ego. After a mutant alter ego, response. After a mutant, alter ego changes into hero. So when you go from alter to hero, you're going to exhaust this and you draw a card. But this can be procced on any other mutant X-Men or mutant changing into hero. They can take advantage of this. And you don't have to be an alter for a teammate to take advantage of it. You just have to meet this response. And these are all revealed. Not today. All right, let's keep going. All right, so this, when I first saw this, I was kind of blown away by it. I guess this makes, because X-Men are getting a lot of good supports and upgrades, but play only if your identity has the mutant trait, max 1 per player, exhaust X gene, generate a wild resource for an identity specific event. So it's a build card for your identity specific events to help you. So if you have a lot of identity specific events, in fact, Rogue could probably get a good deal out of this because she can get other people's identity specific events as well through the superpower adaptation. So I see her, but I guess if your hero does not have a whole lot of identity specific events, then this is not such a good card to run. But majority heroes, I think, do. So again, this is a great card, and you might ask yourself, is it really good? It's kind of, so there's certain villains that you want to burst down and kill them in one round. We call that one turn kill. Like a good example would be like Green Goblin, Venom Goblin. When you flip those villains, they give you a whole crap load of encounter cards. So the best strategy against those type of villains is to kill them with the flip. So you're gonna flip them and then try to do as much damage to kill them on the second go. And when you have lots of build cards on your playmat, you're able to play a lot more in your hand. So therefore, that equals to higher damage per turn. So again, if say you're going into a villain and you want to try to one turn kill them, this is probably a good card to play if you can run it in your deck, because it's going to guarantee you a higher probability of doing greater damage. Um, yeah, it's situational a little bit, but all right. Let me read some of this. So they're going to be releasing with Rogue a separate modular, and it's called, what's it called down here? It's called Reavers, a team of cybernetically enhanced criminals and old enemies of X-Men. So let's take a look at them. So it does look pretty nasty. Now, this is not the Nemesis set for Rogue, okay? I want to be very clear so people don't get confused. But this guy's really nasty. So they have the teamwork trait, which is really cool, which is Reaver. He's villainous. He's a 1/1, but he's villainous. So boost abilities are going to work with him. So it's pretty nasty. He has a force response. So after Donald Pierce engages you, I don't even know who that is. Reveal the topmost Reaver minion from the discard pile. So what's going to happen is if he gets revealed, say there's no minions out, he gets revealed on the counter phase. He's got, if there is another Reaver in the discard pile, that's then going to be revealed, and then they're going to teamwork together. So he's going to get like a basically like a quick strike, and then the teammate that he reveals is also going to activate on you. So this is really nasty. And then these are some of the Reavers here. You got Skullbuster, Toughness. After Skullbuster engages you, place one threat on the main scheme for each Reaver minion engaged with you. So that can be a little bit like, you got to remember too, when you're playing, this new teamwork mechanic can catch you off guard, because and I think, let me talk about this, and I like the way Fantasy Flight is going, because the more dynamic, the more like, it's a different way of Surge. I know a lot of people don't like Surge, or they feel like Surge it wrecks the fun of the game, but I'm still a supporter of Surge. And I think where people get more upset about is if it's too much Surge in the deck, aka Ronin, aka Nebula. Uh, but I think if there's a little bit of Surge there, I don't think the majority of Marvel players care too much. But the nice thing is teamwork is like a different type of Surge. It's not like a surge, but it's a momentum for the villain, right? They're gonna activate if two are in play, and then this one's gonna put threat on the main scheme, uh, with the force response. So it keeps you on your toes, right? So you gotta like pay attention to your surroundings. You gotta make sure, if this guy comes out, am I gonna lose the game? And I like that this is another way to help the villain, because ultimately you got to understand, guys, we're getting stronger. Our heroes in this game are getting stronger. The more cards they introduce, we're getting stronger. It's only fair to make to also increase the villain strength a bit, right? So it's nice to see that they're also trying to make the villains area as well, with this mechanic. So I don't know if everyone likes teamwork. I mean, it was in the Mutant Genesis with the acolytes, but I like it. Like I said, you respect the minions more. Another strategy was in the game was you could load up your board with a bunch of minions and just let them sit there a lot of times. Where if you play a scenario with teamwork, that is a dangerous option, because they're going to do some nasty things. They're going to activate more. So yeah, it changes the meta a little bit, keeps it interesting, and I like that. Bonebreaker must be the brother of Skullbuster. I don't know. He has toughness as well. After Bonebreaker engages you, take one indirect damage for each Reaver minion engaged with you. So again, pretty nasty. I guess he's the high damage dealer here, and he's the schemer. No. We got Wade Cole. This is another Reaver. search the counter deck and discard pile for a copy of Cybernetic Enchantments attachment and attach it to Wade Call. So I guess that will make them more deadly. Attached to minion. Attached minion cannot take damage. Whoa. After attached minion attacks, discard. All right, so very interesting. Let's talk about this. All right, before I talk about this, Victor wrote something in chat. Yeah, I find Surge a little lazy. Okay, I kind of agree with you in there, but I feel like Surge to a certain degree has to be in the game somewhat, or else you will just get very the villain would get very he get these turns where he does nothing, right? And so I think, but yeah, then you say love teamwork though really kept me on my toes. Yeah, exactly, just like what I was saying, and gave me something to worry about. Made getting rid of minions something you have to deal with. Exactly, and that is what I like when they change the meta. Like, and I've been a very uh, advocate for standard 2 and expert 2, just for people wanting to change the meta a little bit. Like I said, if you find the meta getting a little old, where what I mean by meta is you're kind of doing the same things in the game, chump blocking all the time, using toughs all the time, which are legitimate strategies. But like when you go into standard 2, expert 2, spycraft, counterintelligence, there's other cards, target acquired, are almost like these are the new meta now. You got to run some of these cards. So I'm not saying everyone should go play standard 2 and expert 2. All I'm saying is it's awesome that we have a game that the developers are continually trying to make it more interesting, like teamwork. And I know standard 2 expert 2 is not everybody's cup of tea, but all I'm saying is it's there for people that want to spice things up, or they want to, see if the meta changes a bit if I do this. And that's why we have the customization for the modulars in the game. And it's so cool. Like, we can literally customize so many different aspects, and you can even house rule. Like, I mean, it's not like you can't do it. If you want to make something really interesting, thematic, you can do that. Victor said, yeah, I don't mind a little surge, but not too much. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let's talk about this card. It's giving them +1 attack, but more importantly, they cannot take damage, which is really interesting because why it's interesting is this could also potentially attach to another minion. And then basically that minion is going to get a swipe at you no matter what, unless you run magic or Vivian ally basic, or something that could, like, if you run magic ally aggression and does not have the elite keyword, you can just send it back in a portal. The attachment's gone and it's shuffled back in the deck. If you run storm, and you could blank out the text box with what is it called, Blizzard or something. Late night gaming, I was initially put off by her cards, but after this I'm interested in seeing how she plays. Okay, so you must be the one vote against her. No, I'm just joking. So that kind of wraps it up, guys. That's the full sort of preview that they've given us. Definitely go check Nelson's out. It'll be much better than this one. This one was just a quick live one. Let me just give my final thoughts, and then we will say goodbye, unless anyone else has more questions in chat or they want my opinion on. So overall, I'm super excited. I'm about as excited for this as I was for Storm. But all I can say is that 2 words: thematic, fun. That's what I'm getting from this. And that's why I'm so happy to be involved with Marvel Champions. If they weren't releasing heroes like this, I would start to worry about still being interested in this game. The fact that they're still able to hit home runs makes me very excited that we still have a lot of Marvel Champions life to go through. Now, even if Marvel Champions ends, I'm sure they're going to come up with another type of game like this, but it'll be a different IP. And that's awesome. I mean, if you like not so much the Marvel logo, but you just like the mechanics and the play of how this game works. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna uh, make a similar game to this if they stop it. Or, but I don't think that's the case. I think they're going to milk this Marvel bad boy as long as they can. There's so many characters in the universe. They're producing movies every year. I think this game has got a very, very long lifespan. Actually, probably longer than Lord of the Rings. Victor says, thanks for the stream, Describe. I really cleared some cards out for me. See you next time. Yes, I was the one that voted low. It was late night. Okay. And before we go, tonight, we're going to send it to the YouTube stream. Make sure the audio is working. We're going to be doing the What If, my thematic series. This time, we're doing Ultron multiplayer with Late Night Gaming. He's going Doctor Strange. I'm going Gamora. We're going to play Expert 2 with the Affinity Gauntlet. Now, I will just say this. Our chances of winning are probably like maybe 3 or 2 out of 10. It's going to be difficult, very hard, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a shot. I looked at Late Night Gaming's deck for Doctor Strange. It looks really nice. And I've tried my best to kind of with Gamora aggression run allies that can deal with drones. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be a really tough game. I will say that. So I think that's about it. Nobody else, I think, has questions. I just want to say thank you everyone for joining this live chat. I know this wasn't like super graphics coming on the screen all nice and everything. Just me clicking on the web page, but this was sort of my initial reaction to everything. And like I said, I'm very hyped for her. When she does come out and when I do physically get the pack, I probably will do a guide for her. I still haven't gotten Storm, so I know I promised to do a guide for Storm but I gotta get her to do that, and then I gotta play her. So I'm gonna sign off. Thank you guys again for watching. Subscribe, like, know when I go live. Let me know what you want to see on the channel. Give me feedback, help me grow the channel, and I appreciate you guys. Take care. Bye.